welcome to today's episode of Franklin Farms and Gardens, where you can hear a lot of noise in the background because we're out here at the first ever, and hopefully the one of many,
Yes.
Pollinator Pastures that the AgCom has started. I'm really excited about that. I'm with the Franklin Agricultural Commission today, and this is Marian Szymanski, who is on the AgCom, who's on the board of the AgCom. And this is kind of your jam, right? This
It
is what
is.
you.
Absolutely.
Well, you can see her hat is the
Yes,
Norfolk County
I'm
beekeeper.
a beekeeper, yes. For about 10 years, that's correct.
Right.
Well, everyone's probably heard by now that the bees are in trouble and other pollinators are in trouble. And a big part of the problem is pesticides and lack of habitat.
So, what are we going to do today?
We're going to start small and start pulling out some of the weeds that don't feed the bees or any other pollinator, but also crowd out some of the natives that would feed the bees. After we pull those out and create some open spaces, we're going to put in some plants that are specifically for pollinators. Things that butterflies, bees, hummingbirds, certain types of flies and moths all can feed on and get healthier from it.
Right. So, I think one of the misconceptions we have is that, it's just the honeybee that is in trouble, but it's not just the honeybee, right?
It's all kinds of bees, bumblebees, native bees, solitary bees. They're all being affected by the lack of habitat and by the use of pesticides.
This is wild bergamot. It's kind of like a mint that the bees love this stuff. And then this is the oxeye daisy. So that's the white daisy with the yellow eye, right, that you see on the roadside. So these are all native pollinator wildflowers. And I think it would be great to have this area just set aside for the pollinators, and it's a no spray, no mow zone. And we left some of these. This is like a daisy here, so we want to weed whack the grass because it's taken over the pollinator pasture, and we're going to kind of scrape it up and put down some yellow clover, some crimson clover. I have some other wildflower seeds as well. But we're going around certain things, and so Marian's going to show us a couple of the plants that we want to keep here, right?
That's right. Some of these plants will feed pollinators, others, especially the grass, don't feed anything at all. So this is a type of daisy. That'll feed a lot of pollinators. The honeybees like them, but so do the bumblebees and a lot of the solitary bees. This tick seed right here, that's a good plant for pollinators. Milkweed is great for honeybees as well as other bees and butterflies. These are milkweed plants. You want to leave those. The flowers are kind of pretty. There's the milkweed right there. There's some daisies in there we're going to leave. This plant gets tiny yellow flowers. I don't recall the name of it. It's in the clover family. That will feed the bees, so we're going to leave that. A different type of daisy over here. We're going to leave those.
Yes.
That's in the foxglove family, actually, and bees do like that, so we're going to leave that.
But this stuff here is going, right? Yeah. So we'll work around the goldenrod.
So these are kind of invasive. They'll take over all the other wildflowers that we want to grow here. So we're going to pull some of them out, plant some other stuff there. This is the dockweed. It doesn't really do much. It sort of just takes over.
It does. It's really hard to pull out.
So we're going to remove these if we can and plant some of our plants that we have. We have over 100 native wildflower grown from seed plants that we can plant today.
The honeybees can't use that. It's too deep for their tongues to be able to reach, but the bumblebees can, and they love it. And sometimes you'll see butterflies on that as well.
This is a really nice wildflower. It could possibly have been here by itself, right?
It could have.
Self-seeded.
It could have. It's a native plant to this part of the country.
And if you see them, you see it on the side of the road because they like kind of junky soil,
They
right?
do.
And but the pollinators love them. You can see there's a little there was like a little guy flying around there right already.
Yep, it's a tiny solitary bee.
Yep. Solitary bees love them. And they're really important to make sure that they have food so that we have, because they pollinate as well.
Ladybug on that. Oh, another ladybug. You want those in your garden. This Johnny Jump Up it's called. And this is fireweed. That's a native plant. There used to be fields of that in this country, but most of it's been pulled up for development.
They look like oxeye daisies that we're going to add more to. So these are you see these on the side of the road a lot. They're wildflowers. Pollinators love them. People might not keep them around because they get tall and they kind of flop over maybe. But really, they're really important to keep for food for the pollinators. And I think they're pretty along the side of the road too, right? We want to be healthy, but we also need beauty in our lives, I think, right? We have a surprise guest today. Our town administrator, Jamie Helen, showed up to help us along with our Pollinator Pasture.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you could give us a few words on why you think this is a great idea and all about how cool the AdCom is.
I mean, we just saw the AdCom the other night presented at the council, and Carly and everyone did a great job. I think when we started the AdCom only about a year and a half ago, I can't imagine anybody wouldn't think that you've exceeded expectations. The new booklet, the education, the outreach. I think they said the farmers market's going to have a bunch more vendors this year, new people.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't want to rehash the whole presentation. We'll probably put it online on the town website, franklinma.gov. But today's effort is about the Pollinator Pasture, and this is a great initiative from the AdCom to have a no spray, no mow zone where bees and other insects can eat without worry. We all know the big crisis, I think globally now?
Yeah,
probably globally.
Yeah, 40% of the insects are disappearing.
40% and the bees especially, I know, are really the foundation almost our entire ecosystem, really.
Right.
And so, these are the little things I think that Franklin does so well. I mean, we have rain gardens throughout the whole community. We're 5 or 6 years ahead on stormwater. Recharge. Most of these things usually aren't very interesting to a lot of people, but I think a little thing like this, where we can create an area in a beautiful park in town that people really enjoy here at Dacey Fields. As we can see, it's packed here today.
Right.
It's just really fun, and I think it's a great thing for the environment. It fits in with the character up in the northern side of town, up here on Lincoln Street.
Right.
Kind of, with all the other farms and the rural nature of the area, with Paramount just down the street and everyone else.
Yep.
And how can we not love Horace the bee? So now we have Ben Franklin, the therapy dog, and we thought, at Mel's direction, we gotta give credit where credit's due. We named the little bee Horace. So now Horace has a friend with Ben, and Ben has a friend with Horace.
That's right.
But anyway, it's a great thing, and just a quick kudos while we're on video to the Department of Public Works and Brutus
I was just gonna do that.
and our team for turning these signs around really quickly.
Right, Kate.
And Kate Soberg, our GIS manager.
Everybody on the DPW, thank you so much.
Yep.
It's amazing what everybody does there, how much everybody cares, and it's a great team. And we wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, our staff make these in-house.
Yeah. This was made in-house.
I mean, down at the station, and they just turn it around really quick. They came up here, installed 3 of them, or maybe 4. 3. And it's just really exciting to have. So I think this is the little things that Franklin does so well, and we're proud of the AdCom for stepping up and having this kind of idea. And
it's one of those things where we're like, okay, so there's a problem, let's find a solution. Yep. So what can we do to help? Right? If we don't have pollinators, we're not gonna have food. We're gonna lose everything. Our whole way of life is gonna completely collapse.
And this is really actually one of the best sites for this. If we're doing this for once, and we hope to do it maybe in another spot, this is a really great space to do it, and it's a great place to start.
Yep.
And it's just kind of a, no pun intended, but a natural fit. It really was, right? I mean, it was really a good spot to do it at, and so hopefully folks will come down here and walk on the sidewalk, and in maybe a month or 2, things will have grown in really thick, and hopefully year after year we just start to see a rebirth of bees, pollinating bees. down here.
And all kinds of insects, right? So there's solitary bees, but there's also beetles that pollinate. There's a lot of moths and butterflies that pollinate as well.
And there's a lot of dragonflies.
There's a lot of dragonflies right now. That means there's other bugs that they can eat.
Yep.
So it's kind of like an all natural ecosystem.
That's right. Absolutely. And yet the kids are also playing soccer and having fun right behind us, which is kind of funny. Which is making me think, and I'm saying this out loud on camera, but maybe even another sign on the other side facing that way, so that the folks all over there understand what this is. We could even put one on the back of this.
Okay.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so people on the field can see what's going on here. Instead of it's not just a weed field.
These aren't speed limit signs.
That's right.
These aren't do not park signs. Right. And again, who doesn't love Horace? So he's awfully cute.
Hopefully Horace will pop up in many places around town.
That's right.
They don't have to be this big. Right. You could have.
That's a big bee.
You could have even an area, a little island in between a couple of roads. Yep. That we could create a pollinator pasture in. Doesn't have to be as big as this one. And hopefully we'll just go through town. Our plan is to go behind the DPW whenever they dig up someplace, then maybe add some more pollinator gardens to wherever they've been. So that there's the rain gardens and then the pollinator gardens around town. And if you want to know how you can help the bees, you can go to the AgCom page on the town website.
And you can also go to the farmers markets every Friday from 12 to 6 on the town common and not only go buy something local, pick up a couple items at the farmers market, but also we have a bunch of vendors that sell honey, and it's just additional education outreach that if people want more information on these types of initiatives, they can also talk to Roger Trahan and all the other folks at the that sell the honey locally in town.
Right, go directly to the source, right? Find out what the bees want in your area, wherever you are. But Roger is actually on the commission, and he's over there right now, and he's doing a lot of work.
So they're doing a lot of work, and you and I are doing a lot of talking.
We're just having fun talking because I don't want to do work. No, I'm like, I do a lot.
That's funny.
I've already done a lot, but yeah. So, well, thanks for coming down.
Yep. Thanks for giving me a heads up.
And we're gonna give you a shovel.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna get pictures of Jamie actually planting some of these plants, I think. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Let's get to work. So you can see where there's spots here that are bare, right? So we'll be planting here. I'm gonna put some of our black-eyed Susans here, maybe some ox-eyed daisies here, and then we'll sprinkle this stuff with some clover seeds as well, and hopefully help keep the grass away from the plants, but also, and then make it easier to come in and maybe get rid of the grass next year, and then continue to add more and more plants here. Right. We talk about a science project, that you couldn't get to work, failure after failure after failure, and it's like I'd say to people, well, if it was easy, it would have already been done. Right, so let's just get back to work. I think what we should do is with Marion's help, I think we should figure a place where we wanna maybe smother the poison ivy or use these clippings for something, right?
That's what I want to do is just like some of these grasses back here, just pile it on top, they'll smother it, but then they'll actually make good healthy soil underneath it. So that's what I was going to suggest. We just take
pick up spot or
armloads of that, maybe right in here we could start in the back. It seems like it's all grasses back here.
Bring it down here. I don't think wild bergamot.
Yep.
There's some black-eyed Susans.
All right. So we can kind of plant each one together, perhaps.
You want to make the one spot for the wild bergamot, one spot
that's
for the
how bees like to feed the best.
Okay, that's a great.
Otherwise, they have to kind of relearn each time they go to each flower. They'd rather stay in one clump of flowers and get what they can from them.
Other wild bergamot too. I don't know how many you want to put in one area.
All right. Well, we'll see how many we can fit in right across here, maybe.
Jamie, if you need this is one of my favorite tools.
That's That's your favorite tool?
This is one of my favorite tools. And then my grub hoe is here. My grape hoe is here too. It's another one of my favorites.
You can put one in the middle between them too. They can go that close together, yeah. That way you'll get a nice clump that'll choke out all the weeds that want to come in. You can stay in the same area for the same types of plants. Like this area right here.
I figured you or somebody else would plop them in.
That's true.
And I would
Then you can
stick
just
some-
put your seed. Yeah,
you
that's a good idea. This is a nice area right here. This kind of circular area.
This could be a spot, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good
And then there's another one. So this could be a spot. This could be a spot. All right, so here's some of the seeds that we have. I don't know if you want to.
Oh yeah.
So we have yellow sweet clover. This makes nice tall, sweet flowers for the bees. Hopefully it will help discourage the grass from growing everywhere because it gets a little tall. And these are crimson clovers. So these are annual clover, but they're really pretty. They're really bright red, and the bees love this stuff. And then we have some wildflower mix to add, and then we actually have a hummingbird flower garden mix just to have a few other pretty things to look at. A lot of them are annuals, but not all of them are annuals. So this is the blue flax. I don't know if you got a picture of the blue flax. So this is blue flax. This has really nice blue flowers on it. It's a perennial. It gets a couple of feet tall, and the bees just love these flowers. So I think you can pick a variety.
Yep. Okay.
And just go for it. So these are
all black eye sheep.
the white daisy that's in the back over there,
Yeah.
with the white with the yellow eye.
Okay.
That's what these are. This is the wild bergamot. Right, so those go with that one. I think we'll probably be able to make a couple of areas of each species. I think we should be able to.
You got the whole tape measurement.
Oh, careful. Well, that's one of the issues, right? There's trash on the side of the road. And so we have to be careful that we don't get hurt while we're doing this. And there's like metal, rusty metal. Hopefully everybody has their tetanus shots up to date. You got your tetanus shot up to date, Jamie?
Yep.
Okay. Jamie's up to date. I think we're okay. She's planting the wild bergamot right now in a grouping, so that when they flower, then all the bees will come to that one area and get all the same kind of honey and nectar, and then they'll know where to go to get that again. So then they can tell everybody in the hive where it is, and it's easier to find that way.
Thanks for growing these, Mel. This is awesome.
All right, make a couple more. Make a couple. Oh, there's another hole. All right, you wanna? That could be a spot, right? Another hole. I think what we'll do is we're going to add the insect house, so that not only do the pollinators have food, but they'll have a place to stay. We're going to attach them to the Pollinator Pasture signs when they're ready to put up, and that will give the mason bees, a lot of the solitary bees, the butterflies, and some of the beetles that pollinate a place to stay for the winter. England asters they used to be everywhere. You know, that purple aster on the side of the road that blooms in the fall. You know, they used to be everywhere. Bees love them so much. Everything does. They're not everywhere anymore because people use herbicides on them. We gotta stop using herbicides on everything. Right? Right, so you could use the shovel and like get the edges here and stuff. Now we just need to go get the buckets of water. Yeah, or here, use the garden, use this. Use that.
I think you're just gonna get a lot of grass.
Yep. That's what happens. But that'll be nice now. Let's put some more. Put some black-eyed Susans around them. What do you think? Like these are perennials, so they started from seed in February this year. So that's perennials usually, they don't necessarily bloom the first year. They grow a little slow, but these ones look like they're already starting to maybe get ready to flower. So you can see how the stem is coming up out of the plant. So that might just be can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sort of.
So this right here could be a flower stem coming out, which is kind of exciting since they were seeds in February. Another goal that we have will be to identify the flowers here and label them so that it's a learning experience for people who come by. We'll say, okay, this is what a black-eyed Susan looks like. This is what the New England aster is like. This is these are the things that the pollinators need to survive. And then maybe people will either let them grow in their yard or near their yard, or at least not dig them up or throw some herbicide on them.
And what the DPW does is for the rain gardens, they have exactly that. They have the flora labeled, and then they also do tours if people want.
Right.
I don't know
So
if
you
you've ever
can
taken one, but you
right,
can go
so-
around to say there's 8 rain gardens in town. They do occasionally every year or two. They do tours
Yeah.
where you can go around and they'll talk about what the rain gardens do, and so we'll have to add the Pollinator Pasture to the tour.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing that the DPW does is they have a how to build your own
Yep.
rain garden, right? Is that what they're called, rain gardens? And how to build your own rain garden. And I think this fits right in. Like, well, it's how do you build your own pollinator pasture? How do you build your own rain garden? It's all about, in my mind, it's all about what our future is going to be, and what do the kids in the future have? What's going to be left for them? And let's make the future the best we can. I don't want to get all choked up or anything, but really that's what drives me. I'm starting to cry, Jamie. Jeez.
That's okay, Mel.
This is what
The
it's
passion.
all about. This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah. All right, so you got that one. Let's put this guy in here. What'd you do with all the soil? What'd you do with all the soil when you?
I know. Well,
When
there
you
wasn't
dug
a
it
lot
up.
of soil actually under there. There's a lot more roots and grass. But,
Okay.
Um,
It's okay. They're
you do a
wild.
loose plant.
They're
right?
wildflowers,
You do
right?
a loose plant.
You do a loose plant. Yep.
Hill.
And we'll do a hill, and we'll just tuck it in. And then what we're gonna do is
Get
I
rid of
have
the rocks.
I have
if possible.
I have a whole
we'll give
bunch
some
of water
space
in
here.
the. I have water in the truck. We'll have to go get the buckets. Then when we give everybody a little bit of water, the dirt will just kind of fill around all the roots.
So what do these
and they'll
plants
be okay.
do? Do they go out?
They'll be
Wide?
out and up.
Up, both?
Yeah, black-eyed Susans. You've seen them,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh okay. Right.
That's what those are. Yeah. How's it going, Ed?
These areas that we opened up in here,
Yeah.
I scratched up, and I'm going to throw yellow clover in there, okay? I see
Awesome.
you have a bag of it there.
Yes, I have yellow
Because
clover.
it's tall enough that you'll see it, you know?
Yeah.
The yellow clover gets like 3 feet.
Yep.
So just in those empty spaces, because the rest of this is all good. That's goldenrod and some other flowering stuff. We got rid of all of that weed. So
Excellent.
I'm just going to toss yellow clover. It's good.
Yeah. So Ed's gonna put crimson clover out down here by the front of the road. Bees really love it, right, Ed? And it's an annual. right?
Yellow, yeah, and there's yellow. We put yellow, sweet yellow clover in there, which is like a 3 foot high. It's also annual, but it reseeds.
Right.
And it really does.
Right.
But those will be tall enough that you'll be able to see them from the road. The crimson clover is shorter, so we'll put that out front here.
Awesome. Marion's planting these close to each other, right, Marion? So that
So it crowds out any weeds that want to come in.
when you really sit down and look at it.
Yeah, we decided the trees were about.
So if you see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants right there right now.
right, yep.
Right, and then you're gonna. She's just gonna
Another
keep
one in here. I'm just gonna keep going.
butterflies already around us. That's
All right.
awesome. I don't think we have time to plant all of the plants, but that's okay because we have another spot at the Remington Jefferson School that Buddha said that we could use.
Oh, okay.
And so we can actually go over there and plant these things there too.
Yeah.
Great.
Right? You can just attach them. We also have a couple of insect hoses to add to our pasture. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Franklin Farms and Gardens. I hope you had a blast following us around as we dug some holes and weed whacked some weeds and trying to make our first ever pollinator pasture with hopefully many more to come. So I'd like to thank the AgCom, they're over here, for coming out and doing some great work and for being the inspiration of this wonderful project. We want to thank the DPW for all the hard work and making these signs for us and just being very supportive of everything I ask for. And the town administrator, Jamie Helen.
Thanks, Mel.
So thanks for coming out and joining us.
This is a lot of fun. We look forward to more pastures.
Next time,
Not greener pastures, pollinator pastures.
next time he has to wear work boots so he can actually do some work.
Yeah.
Right? Right,
Next time,
Jamie?
yep, exactly. Proper notification will come 48 hours in advance.
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, that's the way it goes. So thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
This is a great first step to protecting our pollinators.
Right. Okay. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.